There it is. There we go from there. To the republic standing one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, folks. Any public comments?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for a wonderful evening at the Shining Star Gala, and on behalf of all the amazing library volunteers that were honored, it got a little embarrassing after a while.
Well,
Most of them have done things for other organizations in the community, but we had a lot of fun.
well, the libraries is a great resource for the community, without a doubt. Well deserved. Yeah, we'll talk more about that, about the success of the gala a little later. Appreciate you bringing that up. All right. Has everybody read the meeting minutes from last week?
Yes.
Last month? Yep. All approved? Approved, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone against? All right. Okay, very good. All right, marketing and communications. Got anything for us, Rob, or is that
just from a communications, we continue to do from the last speaker series, the 1 minute summaries. Dan does a great job at John does a great job of posting them, and we continue to get at a minimum, 400 to 500 within the first couple of weeks afterwards. So we're going to continue to do that from a speaker standpoint. And the only other thing I'll say from a media standpoint, as well as I know with Suzanne as well, I did bring in a podium that we might want to use for the speakers. So I brought that in as well, just in case we want to use that. There's that acrylic podium for the speaker tomorrow, if we want to use it. So, and if not, that's totally fine. But I thought that might be something that would be good to donate to the HCC. So we'll see how that works.
excellent? Thank you.
I wanted to mention there, my husband goes to NBC. It's the Northland.
Northmont Brothers Club.
Yeah, and they were all pleased to see that flyer we had, and guys there wanted to come, so I'm hoping some come.
I got it with two that we're gonna come, can't they go today?
It wasn't,
There were two that were coming for sure,
okay.
and now they're not, one's in the hospital.
Oh, jeez.
Just from Tuesday.
But we should make sure that they get a copy of that. I made sure Cumberland Woods did. And I think Chuck Sweeney at the Rotary. Yeah, that's it.
Did you also, what about Ashton Commons? Was that?
Yes, and Ashton Commons, we have 7 people coming from there.
Oh, great. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So.
And Suzanne, Chuck did send me an email saying he would like to connect, and he'll be giving me a call. Just, Chuck did for the Rotary.
Great for them to get the, the speakers.
I'll let you know when he reaches out.
Okay.
Appreciate you putting that up there on Facebook for us, John, and putting that in advertising.
Yeah, I think one thing, so we had a little less lead-in time. I did put it in a few like history Facebook groups. Hopefully get them a little more response from there. And we did do the city paper, event calendar ad. So
Great. Yeah, I think next year we need to really try to get in front of that, maybe, a month ahead or something like that.
I think it's been difficult this year because of the number of people that have taken over the head position.
Yeah,
we're kind of working behind all the time.
It's been a difficult season for us. Okay, and we'll talk more about that too in a little bit. All right, and John, we didn't do like a registration for that.
this time we did. It's less to worry about.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're getting a better response than usual anyway. So just, moving forward, we're probably not going to get like 100 people. So we just assume for maybe 30 at best.
Yeah,
that's probably a good idea.
So are they going through the same process to register? I mean,
No, we're not doing the registration this time.
oh, he said.
yeah, there is no registration.
Oh,
We're just
okay.
kind of
That's
opening the
great.
doors.
Okay, I think that's.
You're welcome for the best. So.
That's better. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. It could be part of it. The registration process might have people might have balked at doing that, but I don't think it hasn't been a problem in the past.
Although we didn't do from the beginning, we never had that, I mean, what they did is
They-
they called you personally.
Mhm.
Yeah, like way back when, I don't think we did any registration. We just said,
Yeah,
please show up.
show up.
Hope the
Yeah.
best.
And
And
we-
then I think it was when the train guys, were so popular, I
Mhm.
think it became, well, we have to make some,
Yeah.
be sure, you can't have 70 people show up and turn 30 away.
Yes, well, and a lot of those presentations, we did them at 5 and.
Right.
Yeah.
5 and 7.
Yeah.
seven,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
5
know,
and
whatever it was.
5 and 7.
Yeah. All right. All right, budget report. So everybody has a budget in front of them. Of course, we're doing well with the money right now. The only area that we're over is electricity, and there's little we can do really about that. The other overage would be for the gala, but that was money well spent. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But otherwise, we're looking very good. Good stewards of the people's money, and we have money to spend if we find some things that are worthy to spend it on. So anyway,
We can spend some.
yeah.
Yeah.
We bought an American flag for the front.
Wasn't up today.
Was that out today? Good. And I also bought a welcome flag, a different one.
Yeah, we didn't do that yet, because I
Yeah.
wasn't sure whether you were ready to do that.
Yeah, I think we need to get a new pole. So,
Oh,
yeah, that didn't come with a pole, so, and the pole that's for on our open
Yeah,
sign right
that's
now is compromised, so.
Can you buy separate poles?
Yeah, they're like, unbelievably, they're $30 at Lowe's. I picked one up the other day, and I thought it was $15, it was 30, I put it back, so, but I'll go back and get one of those, I think, yeah. But anyway, and I think, I like, the welcome sign that we got from Amazon. It's more kind of, what would you call it? More rustic looking, a little more homey looking. We've already got, since we have an American flag out there, we don't need another red, white, and blue one. And I just don't think that's really, I think people see that type of flag so much, they just go by it and don't
Mhm.
pay attention to it. This one says, welcome, come on in, or something,
Yeah.
a little bit more inviting. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. But yeah, so we're looking good with the budget. Yeah, any other comments on the budget? No. Okay. Programming, we've got, of course, talk tomorrow night. And it sounds like it's gonna be well attended. And from here on out, what do we have? We've got the veteran stuff up. And then we're gonna switch to Christmas.
We'll leave some cases with the antiques, and then we'll do the rest Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know any other holidays. I don't know, anything, any items for any holidays. I'm not very,
Yeah.
for Hanukkah, and I don't know the date of it this year, I need
Mhm.
to.
But we got one. Yeah.
Yes, we did, they did put that out, but I'm,
Yeah, I think it's something that we might want to think about for next year, maybe being a little bit more diverse, but I don't know. I'm not. I think it's just something that might be a conversation to have over the course of the year here. But anyway, that's what we're ready to do, and it'd be a nice way to end the year, and we'll shut down, of course, between January and middle of February. Okay. Anything else about programming that we have?
are we going to set up in January the list of the year's programs?
That's what we're gonna try to do, yeah.
Yeah, so that we can maybe release that to
Yes,
people
yes.
and have it be accurate this year.
And and what I'd like to do, I think, is, I guess since we are talking about this, and we may as well talk about maybe some future programming. I don't think we need to do a talk every month.
every week, every month.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do a talk every month. I think it's a lot of work. And so I think maybe if we do 5 or 6 talks and get that out and get that information out early,
Mhm.
it'll be more manageable. Anybody?
Yeah, Dan, that would give us an opportunity to present it as a speaker series. If we have them all nailed down,
Yeah,
we've been kind of one-upping them every time. But if we kind of promote it, I think that would work really well with like City Paper and some other places, where people
agree.
can see, hey, here's their whole series, plan for it. These are the people who will be coming on. I like that. If we can nail it down in December,
Everybody.
January.
and I think if we have 5 or 6 of them, just solid, really good,
Yeah.
good centers, that'll be good. And if anything pops up in between, we'll just,
Yeah, it's just a program then,
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
have to be, yeah. And we can always take advantage of what comes our way as well.
Excellent, yeah, and we do have a couple of, we have some good ones lined up. We've got the History Hobo, can't think of else. I got a few other ones.
I hope we can do the photography show, since we were asked to do that.
Yeah, and that would be a different type of thing. That'd
Yeah.
be a show or event, so. But yeah, I think if we limit it to 5 or 6 speakers, I think that'll be, I think more, easier on the volunteers and, just more doable. So unless if anybody between now and then has an objection to that, that's what I'm thinking going into the winter here, so. Any other programming notes?
Other than we did send in the payment. When I say we, I mean John and the township for the Moonshot Museum, where we had to put in the breaking into 2 payments for their speaker fee, which is very reasonable.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate John and the township assisting, and Dan as well as you, just to make sure that got in. So I appreciate that.
Thanks for Ryan. That's the other one I was trying to think of. That we start out with a great one, the Moonshot.
Yeah, that'll be February 20th, I think, Feb 20, something like that.
So that's good. Yeah, I think if we have really 5 or 6 really good ones, it'll be better. All right, volunteers, they've done an outstanding job. So, and go ahead.
I think we ought to send a thank you to the volunteers for it went to the FDPC,
Yeah.
the people who work there, but it didn't go to the volunteers,
Okay.
just to recognize well, particularly we do it there, the registering and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to combine volunteers and the gala recap very quickly because I want to talk about both of those things. They first of all, the gala was a great success. I was not able to attend, but I've heard nothing but rave reviews, and it did, and we got, according to Trisha, we made some pretty good money. So
I think we ended up with more people than we expected.
Yes.
yeah. So so first of all,
And it was well attended, and I think
Yeah.
the nice thing about the attendees, I would say only about half the people that were in that room actually had been here, but now got to see the videos,
Great.
got to see the promos,
Mhm.
and now understand what it is.
Yeah.
And will probably end up being.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And so really, I just like to publicly, first of all, thank Joe Wall, the subcommittee, and Betty in particular, and all the work that the subcommittee did, and the council for supporting the HCC with the gala, and we appreciate that. Appreciate the recognition. So everybody was involved, really made it a wonderful success, and wasn't certainly on the way there. It didn't. There was lots of concern. So
And Rob made it very organized.
okay.
Thanks. Although very truthfully, I got the biggest value out of anybody there. My 11-year-old daughter was the last person off the dance floor. She was there the whole time. So I got the most, as far as time. I made out like a bandit on this whole thing. It was great.
I've seen that. Okay. No, but yeah, thanks, Rob, for handling all that, and kudos. I mean, that's a great stuff.
And just, you know, Dan, is that what I will try to do is I'm letting everybody have a few week breather and then try to organize like a little debrief, because there's lots of things that went well and lots of things that could be better and some ideas, you know, like just to do a debrief with the subcommittee. So Don, I'll probably work with you offline of what's a good date for that, because I know everybody needs some decompression time. So I don't want to fill up everybody's calendar, but before it leaves our brains, I would like to do just like a quick review of things.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Get past Christmas.
And if not soon, we'll definitely do that in January when we have, but yeah, great, appreciate it.
Last year's, because of the date was tough, but it was, somebody noted to me, they were pleased to see more members of town council there this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, great, yeah,
Right.
that's important,
You
yeah.
guys need to go there.
Yeah, that was nice. And we ended up having the state rep show up.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
wow, great, great. All right, yeah, and there'll be lots of stuff to deal with. Yeah, a debrief is definitely important there. So great. Again, thanks for all that work. All right, we have Winterfest coming up, and we'll be open that evening. Right?
And 5 and 6. Is it 5 and 7 or 5 and 6? I
5 and
think it
6,
is.
I think.
Yeah, 5 and 6 will be the story time.
Okay, we are having that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
What's the
sorry,
date on
It's the
it?
seventh.
the 7th, and you should
December
be,
7th.
December 7th.
yeah, you should be getting a flyer that Abby gave us with the sent it today.
And Amy, just so you know, from a technical standpoint, I did let Nicholas know that we do have the smart board in case they want to use any kind of electronic presentation for story time. I'm not sure how they want to do it, but Nicholas wanted to do a little, you know, some specifics about it.
They're pretty low tech with the story time. They
Got it. Okay.
bring jingle bells and things like that.
Got it.
So, felt boards, that kind of thing. So but
Got it.
I'm still
But-
not sure if I'll be able to be here or not. I'm like triple booked that night, so I'll probably flip a coin that morning.
Yeah, I'm only
See
double,
where-
but I'll be there.
where I'll end up, but.
You do have somebody that would read though, right?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Klaus is
Oh,
coming.
well, that's
and
right.
Oh.
Yeah,
She's
Mrs.
done it in
Claus.
the, she's
Yeah.
done it in the past, so if I come, it's only as an elf to assist.
Yeah,
but,
that's
no.
so-
Well, that's great. Let's see. And okay. Any other things? Any other notes for Winterfest? No. Okay. All right. So, and I'm working on a report for the 2024 season, as I like to call it. And I would appreciate anybody if they want to.
Hey, Dan, I have a suggestion there if you'd
Please,
like to
Doug.
hear.
help.
When we, in the first year or two, Diane and Abby and I, we did sort of, it was more like an executive summary of what we did in the year.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, so it was stats, it had things like events, engagements, those types of things, but they were, for the first 2 years, they were like common metrics, if you will, of success, so that we could show, you know, progress.
Mm.
And then Joe took it to be much more extensive as a report. He wanted to see it as, you know, I think at the time he felt that it was really important that council see everything, you know, in detail. And it became, and he and Abby, it became much more of a much larger report. It was, I think, you know, 20 or 30 pages or rather than an executive report. And I don't know if you have access to everything, the earlier ones. Me personally, I think the executive summary was a good approach.
Yes.
For a good approach in terms of developing the report, and a good approach, maybe Dawn, you could speak to this from a council perspective. You know, how much time do you have if I can see the overview, the executive summary, if I will, and then I can ask you if I want more detail about something. But that might be the approach here. I'm just throwing it out there because I know Joe and Abby put a lot of time in it, and I'm, you know, being in this print industry, I don't know how many people actually read what you create if it's not in 2 or 3 pages.
They had
Yeah.
a lot of numbers in there, a lot
Yeah.
of, they were, you know, we were given to
Kind of the
council.
hours of.
The hours and the number of people coming in.
Yeah, they were all good metrics.
People coming to our events.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The numbers are the executive summary, right? The narrative is sort of the story behind it, and maybe, and Dan, I will send you because I still have those in my files if you've never seen them, because some of them may have been before you joined.
Some of them are, I do remember, maybe it's the most recent, the one before that, it was a big, booklet with all sorts of, with pictures and all that. I just have, right now, I have a rough draft of which is an executive summary of sorts, breaks
Okay.
down different categories of
Okay.
success and challenges and things like that.
And I know nothing was done last year.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing was done, okay, yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't be looking for anything.
Like an executive report, and it's, I'm looking at, successes and challenges, and suggestions for, the future. So if anybody has anything they want to add into the report, I'll put together some sort of a Google form, for you to, contribute to it. For things that I might not even, it's like, even things, I've got some stuff in there about new acquisitions, like, I know I don't have all of them in my head, so, some people might have to help me out with some of the things
And such as.
that we've
the
gotten.
painting.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'd forgotten about that. That's right. So, things that, things that I can add into the report to let the council know what's going on, what we've done, what we see as challenges, and suggestions for future progress.
Yeah, certainly.
Sounds good, Dan. I like that approach.
Yeah, certainly the work that Wendy did with the cabinets, the renovations that were all done in early February.
All about that stuff,
It's
yeah.
all 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long year.
Yeah, if you go back, there was a lot we did in the spring, and the new sign went up in this year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I could use a reminder of that type of stuff, and I'll of course share it with everybody before we present it to the council.
Okay.
Yeah. I want everybody's input, so. Yeah. And like I said, I'll contact you with some sort of a way of organizing that.
You can even review your Facebook for the
That's-
past
yeah,
year, 'cause
yeah.
that's gonna have a lot of those highlights.
Sure, yeah, and we'll count up the hours, volunteers spent and things like that, just to.
I can run a report of my hours. Because I can
Yeah.
track my marketing support. I can give you I track all my hours just with
Like, and I actually want that report, Kevin.
Sure.
Yeah, so great.
You want me the total of volunteer hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Kevin actually, because he's an adult and a professional, like myself, he's kept track of his hours and the value of his time.
Yeah, that's what we want to show is community support, the value of volunteers, all that adds up to a great picture snapshot for us. So.
And an accurate one, yeah, very good. All right. Anything that anybody, feels very strongly about that I might not be thinking about in that report? I guess you haven't seen what I have. So. But anything that you feel really strong about is being there.
You mentioned challenges, so I assume you're gonna talk about the executive director.
Sure, yes.
Over.
Exactly.
Wouldn't hope so.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'll put it out there for you, and then you can respond to it. So, great. So I'm looking forward to your input there. I do want to. It's not on the agenda, but I wanted to make because it was kind of a last minute decision of mine. I haven't had anybody walk in since September on a Sunday, and I'm a Steelers fan. And but that's not really the only reason. So I closed it on Sundays last week. I started to close on Sundays because, like I said, we over the summer I had counted nearly 40 people came in on Sundays. So being open on Sunday is valuable. I looked at, and I haven't had sent anybody since September.
So you're saying.
So
Close on Sunday.
yeah, we'll close on Sundays.
During the winter.
Yeah, during the winter, so I can watch football games and and like everybody else is doing.
Well,
So yeah, that was just an executive decision. So, and then, you know, then we'll have to think about, I was looking in December, you know, which Sundays we would be open in December with Santa here. But I don't think there was really one that we'll look at that anyway. If we need to be open on a Sunday and while Santa's here, then we'll do that, but otherwise I think we'll stay closed.
And we do usually have trouble filling Saturdays too,
Okay,
but, that Santa thing, on our old schedule, Joe had it for the 19th of December. I think that's, pretty late now. I just talked, or we texted, he said, I want to be there every weekend. But,
well, he knows the combination.
he enjoyed doing that. But the 19th, and for some reason, the 19th is a Thursday. But that schedule got all messed up. I mean, it was not.
19th is a Thursday.
Yeah, and we
You
would.
know, and we're going to, you know, the 21st is a Saturday.
Let me just see.
Then, you know, 22nd Sunday, and I'm counting this down like you don't know the days. But you know, then that's 23rd, 25th, the next, and we're done. No, we are, so the last day will be open, I'm thinking is probably
Tomorrow should.
either the 20th or the 21st.
Okay, I'm doing Saturday.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, does that make sense
You
to
know
people?
what, that's December. You
Oh,
know,
that's.
I agree.
Say again?
I agree. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, good, all right. Good, that's what
I think that we-
Okay.
all right.
Do we have a meeting next month of this committee?
Yes, it's scheduled.
For what day?
That would be,
18.
yes, it would be the 18th.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Will we plan the Santa thing? I mean, how we do that? I mean, how's that gonna get done?
If we have a Santa, I guess.
I'm sorry.
We'll have to talk and see if we have a Santa.
Yeah,
Was Joe gonna be?
Joe was really wanting to be sent.
He
All right.
really
Yeah.
wanted-
I can, I'll ignore it.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I'll try to talk about
and then we'll,
And then when he wants to do it,
and then we'll advertise it, right? And then, you know, that'll hopefully get people in. Like, I think we realized,
I think
last year we talked about like they charge $50 at the
Yeah,
mall to
that
do it.
is-
it was well attended here. too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Much so.
it. Oh, great.
So we'll give the community a chance to do Santa without having to spill $50 and maybe
Yeah.
they'll,
it worked out.
maybe they'll spill $10
People
on
want
us.
their dogs.
Donate.
Yeah,
Dogs and people. Seriously.
what's this one?
I said dogs and people. My daughter brought her dogs.
Oh,
and-
right, okay.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Look down at kids.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah, all right, okay.
for free.
That brings us to the end of our agenda. Do we have any public comment at this point? Everybody want to make a movement to adjourn?
I'll make a motion. to-
Adjourn?
Okay,
Yes,
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, folks.
Dorothy, are
Thank you, folks. Have a great one.
Good night.